Hello, Africa. Hello, Central Eastern Europe. Hello, Southern Eastern Europe. And hello to all of you joining us from around the globe. Welcome to another LinkedIn live stream. My name is Stuart Samkange, and I welcome you all that are joining us so that we can have a discussion around a topic that is important. I only want to broadcast when I can share with you things that are life changing. So if you are watching, if you are getting the stream, if you can hear me, and if you can see me, let me know in the chat so at least I can know that we're broadcasting live and that we are reaching you. As I said, as we begin the introduction of this session, which will be a very short session, because I know each and every one of us is inundated with so many sessions available online to us today. The session today is going to be specifically covering what are the top 10 jobs. What are the top 10 jobs that provide a livable wage? What are the top 10 jobs most in demand? And how do you get critical skills in order to get access to those economic opportunities? If you are watching and you can hear me, like I said, let me know in the chat so I make sure that I'm not talking to myself and that ultimately I'm actually talking to you and you can hear me. So let's see who's online so far and where they're watching from. Hello, Susan, and welcome to this live stream. And thank you very much, Susan, for joining from Nairobi, Kenya. Let's see who else we've got online. Hey, Smoo, how you doing? Good to have you. We had a conversation yesterday about how we help young graduates get access to jobs, and I appreciate having you online right now. Let's see who else we've got available on the platform. Thank you very much, folks. I'm so glad that you're coming through and that you can hear me and that you're fine-tuned into this conversation, which will be specifically about what are the top 10 jobs and, of course, how you can get access to the skills in order for you to get those jobs. And here's something special. If you stay connected, like I said, it's going to be a short stream, it's going to be a short live stream. If you stay connected, I have a special announcement to make that's going to be only valid for the next 23 days. How you can get access to those skills for free on LinkedIn. All right, super. So just seeing a couple of folks coming in, folks I recognize. Mugo, good to have you on the show and good to have people joining in from around the globe, Nairobi, Poland. We've got people joining in from other parts of the globe. Thank you very much for joining us for this session. Without wasting too much time, I do want to spend the time ultimately helping you gain access to those economic opportunities. So without further ado, let's have a look at what is the content we're sharing today and how that content is going to help you and your community get access to new economic opportunities. Like I said, when we started this, my name is Stuart Samkange. I work for LinkedIn and I've been with LinkedIn for the last 4 years, ultimately working to help young professionals, young graduates, and students get access to economic opportunities. The message I have today is not only aimed at our college students, it's not only aimed at our university professionals. Our message today is even aimed at job seekers and transitioning professionals who might be out there looking for new economic opportunities. I've just started sharing a screen slide so that at least ultimately we have something that can guide us as we have this conversation, as we count down the top 10 jobs and the skills that are needed for those jobs and how you can get access to them. But I thought what would be also important to do is to start off this session by highlighting for you, in terms of the LinkedIn platform, how that's grown and how it continues to add value. Did you know that there's over 830 million people on LinkedIn right now? Did you know there's over 57 million companies that are represented on the platform? More importantly, there's over 11 million jobs on this platform. Now, with all this data, including some of the data I haven't spoken about that you can see on the screen right now, with all this data, we've taken time to look at what are the top 10 jobs that provide a livable wage and the top 10 jobs where ultimately you, as a professional or your community, can learn those skills online. And when you learn those skills online, we end up delivering value into your life and into the lives of your community. Let me give an example of what kind of value we've been delivering here at LinkedIn in the last couple of years. Well, did you know over 4 million people got jobs off LinkedIn in the last 12 months? What am I saying here? I'm saying, folks, there is a job available for you on this platform. If we were to melt down those numbers, we're looking at 8 hires every single minute. And in today's session, I'm going to be specifically talking about the 10 top jobs and, of course, the skills you require in order to gain access to those jobs. What's also important for you to know is that every single second, there are 3 new people joining LinkedIn. Why is that important to know? It's important to know because we need to constantly show the world at large that we're investing in the critical skills that are required in order for us to gain access to those jobs so that we stand out. 830 million members, 3 new members every single second. We need to stand out as young professionals on this platform so that recruiters and hiring managers and those who can give us economic opportunities, such as jobs, can find us on this platform. What's more, folks, we will be covering in this session, if you're just joining us right now, we will be covering what are the top 10 jobs. And I'm going to be doing this a little bit like a New Year's countdown, looking at what is job number 10 right through to job number 1. So, with that being said, I also wanted to announce the very fact that we are not just coming to you today just as LinkedIn. Some of the data we have harvested and looked at in terms of what we're offering on the platform has come as a direct result of collaborating between Microsoft, LinkedIn, and GitHub. So, some of the jobs I'll be talking about today will specifically talk about how you can get certification and also the critical skills to work in those specific roles. In terms of helping you get access to jobs, folks, in terms of helping you get access to jobs, we look at this in 3 easy steps. Those steps are number 1, starting today, helping you get the skills required in order to get access to the jobs. The step number 2 will be ultimately down to you, searching, filtering, and finding those unique jobs that are aligned to the skills that you have. And then, thirdly, applying and getting ready to participate in interviews. I just want to make sure that we're all still connected and that you can all still hear me. I know a couple of people have only just begun to join us. What are we talking about today? Well, if you're just joining us, what we're talking about today is, of course, ultimately highlighting the 10 top jobs that pay a livable wage, that have skills that you can learn online, and that will be available to you for free for the next 23 days. And of course, I always talk about this concept of each one teach one, encouraging you in the things that you learn in a session like today to share those with your community. So if you're in career services at a university or a college, I encourage you to pass on some of the assets we'll be sharing today with your students, your graduates, your alumni. If you are a seasoned professional, you know somebody who's in the market for a job or someone who's looking to transition into a new career, share what you learned today with those that you know. So, just wanted to check in with you before we carry on and specifically start looking at the 10 top jobs that are going to be available. Thank you very much for those who are joining. I think we've got Royston Keith joining in from Dublin, Ireland. We've got people like Michelle joining in from Pretoria, University of Pretoria. Michelle, I've got assets that you can pass on to your students and your graduates to help them get access to new economic opportunities. Let us continue, folks. And of course, like I said, this is an interactive live stream. I will talk about those 10 top jobs, but I'll be looking to hear from you any questions that you have, any comments that you have, and of course, ensuring that we continue to share things that matter. All right, so if you are engaged, if you are connected, and you are looking forward to this, let's get back to the crux of today's session, which is looking at those economic opportunities and how you can get access to them. All right, let me just get rid of those 2 banners. Like I said, the first step is, of course, starts today in letting you know What are the 10 top jobs? What are the skills that we can provide for you for free to gain access to them? But step 2 and 3 is really down to you, which is searching, applying, and of course, preparing for those interviews. Let us continue, folks, in terms of this quick live stream session and look at job number 10 coming in with 360,000 job openings on the platform that is LinkedIn. Job number 10 is, of course, the job for a financial analyst. What are some of the things that financial analysts do for us in the world we live in? We know we need to be more economical and we need to understand the data that is coming from the business and translate that data into trends that can influence whether we save money or we make more money as companies. Of course, as financial analysts, we can also work in the public sector area in terms of helping governments, nonprofits, and other institutions be able to manage money and resources that we have. So, with 360,000 openings on LinkedIn, here are some of the courses that you will have access to. At the end of this session, I'm going to give you a link that will give you access to some of the courses that will help you become a financial analyst and for you to go after those 360,000 jobs that are available on the platform. So you will learn some of the foundations of becoming a financial analyst. You will learn how to track and interpret data and tell stories with data and managing economics overall. So, for those of you who are mathematically inclined and have an interest in becoming a financial analyst, coming in at number 10 with over 360,000 job openings on LinkedIn, we're going to provide you some courses that will help you gain access to those economic opportunities. Moving on forward to job number 9. Coming in with over 600 job openings on LinkedIn is, of course, the job of a data analyst. Kind of touches on closely to the financial analyst role we're looking at, but with the data analyst, there's something a little bit extra here. So not only are we looking for data analysts, but you can give yourself the competitive advantage in the world of work by going on and becoming certified as a data analyst. But to get you started on that, we're offering a number of courses which will be available on LinkedIn Learning. If I haven't said it before, we'll be offering some courses on LinkedIn Learning that will help you start your journey to becoming a successful data analyst. And as a data analyst, like I said, over 600,000 jobs available on the platform. What are some of the courses you're going to get on LinkedIn Learning? We have curated these courses in line with what recruiters and hiring managers are looking for. So if you are a data analyst, expect to learn more about data analytics, learn more about statistical analysis, learn more about the tools involved in data analysis, such as Power BI and Tableau, so that you can stand out by having these skills on your profile. So as you do these courses, and as I talk about these courses, I am encouraging you to add them onto your profile. Why am I encouraging you to add them onto your profile? I want to come back on camera right here and say something super important. Folks, as much as I'm showing and highlighting for you the courses you can get on LinkedIn Learning for free for the next 23 days, I'm encouraging you, as you do each and every one of those courses, add them to your LinkedIn profile. Why? Number one, when you add them to your LinkedIn profile, you're telling recruiters and hiring managers that you're constantly investing in your skills. You're showing that you're a lifelong learner. And guess what? When you enter into the world of work, we're looking for lifelong learners. We're going to throw new software tools at you. We're going to throw new applications at you. We're going to expect you to learn on your own rather than going to classroom training so that you can be effective in your role. So number one, tell the world of work, recruiters and hiring managers, that you're investing in your own skills. Number two, recruiters and hiring managers, when they leverage LinkedIn Learning in terms of searching for talent, they use filters. So not only are they going to look for your degrees, not only are they going to look at your diplomas, they're going to use soft and hard skills to identify you. And guess what? Everything on your LinkedIn profile is searchable. So that means if we add these certificates, it gives us a chance of being visible and discoverable to those recruiters and hiring managers. Number three, when we add those certificates onto our individual profiles, we are increasing our chances of being hired by 9%. Yeah? 9% increment over somebody else who hasn't done that. And you know what? If you want a further advantage, with these courses, with these certificates, with the skills that you're acquiring, if you want a real competitive advantage of up to 20% additional chance of being hired, do the skills assessments. Because when you do a skills assessment, you're making it easier to attest to the credibility you have. You're making it easier for the hiring manager or recruiter to know that you really understand a particular topic or a particular skill that you say you've acquired off LinkedIn Learning. Super important is that as we go through these jobs, as we go through each one of these learnings as individuals, we continue to add these onto our profiles so that we increase discoverability, we increase the credibility that we have, and we increase our chances of getting access to those economic opportunities. So, what is job number 8 in terms of our countdown, going down from number 10 right down to number 1? Job number 8 is a job that is aligned to graphical designers. Yes, the world of tomorrow belongs to those who are creative. Job number 8, with over 654,000 job openings on LinkedIn, is the job for graphical designers. Those who inspire, those who inform, those who transform our world by bringing things to life through visual images and creativity. So if you're a visual thinker, here's some of the courses that you're going to get for free for the next 23 days that will help you gain access to those jobs that are aligned for graphic designers. And as I said, there's over 654,000 jobs on this platform. Folks, today is a special day. Today is a day where you and your community could be one step closer to that new economic opportunity. So, job number 8 is really jobs designed for our graphical designers. So, if I haven't spoken about a job that interests you, don't worry. We're now down to number 7 as we count down to number 1 in terms of jobs with the most demand on LinkedIn that provide a livable wage and that have skills that you can learn online. So, what is job number 7? Well, as you all know, post pandemic and even pre pandemic, the world we operate in has been digitally transformed. Digitally transformed in terms of technology playing a role in our processes, technology playing a role in the way we manage people, the way we operate as people, and technology ultimately leading to how we provide products, solutions, services, and other functionalities as government, as individuals. So, if technology has taken such a central role in our lives, we obviously need people who can help us manage and support the people that use this technology. Coming in at number 7 with over 1 million jobs on LinkedIn is the roles for IT support and help desk. So, what does it take to get access to these jobs? What does it take for you to operate in this space and be able to support those who use this technology? Well, what you're going to find is that we're going to give you access to LinkedIn Learning content that will help you get closer to what recruiters and hiring managers are looking for in this space. So you're going to find that you'll get some courses that will help you on that journey, but more importantly, to help you stand out in this technology space, we're encouraging you to go down the route of certification. So, what we are going to be providing for you who are technologically inclined or IT inclined, we are going to be providing you with some certification preparation courses that will help you stand out and access those 1 million jobs that are available on LinkedIn for IT support and help desk. Folks, I hope you're taking this all in. As I said, we're counting down the top 10 jobs that are most in demand and highlighting what skills you require in order to get access to these jobs. We're now down to job number 6. And job number 6, again, speaks to those of us who are creatively inclined. the world of digital marketing. So, if you are interested in the world of digital marketing and this is an interest, whether across multiple platforms or specifically one individual platform, you are going to get skills that will help you on this platform gain access to those economic opportunities. How many economic opportunities are we seeing in this space? In this space, we're seeing well over 1.6 million jobs aligned to digital marketing specialists. So, what are the things we're going to provide for you for the next 23 days? You're going to get access to courses that will help you access these 1.6 million jobs that are aligned for digital marketing specialists. So, whether you want to become a digital marketing specialist on LinkedIn, Instagram, on other platforms such as Google, and learning how to leverage analytics so that you can get better at optimizing your search engine and also translating that data into real business results, you're going to get access to some of these courses for free for the next 23 days. Let me take a bit of a breather there and see if we got any questions that are coming in thus far from those of you that are watching. We're down to 6 jobs so far that we've looked at our top 6 jobs. We're about to get into the top 5 jobs available with skills that you can learn on the platform. So let me just go in and make sure that we're still connected. I see greetings from Kenya. We've got a wide audience joining us from Kenya. Thank you very much for joining this. And of course, I see requests here to connect up. Of course, we can connect up. We're all on this platform to help each other become more productive and more successful. So definitely feel free to drop me an email if you're looking to connect. Some of the key audiences I look to connect up with are those of you in universities, those of you who are in colleges, not particularly the students, but more importantly, those of you in career services, those of you who are responsible for positive student outcomes, those of you responsible for the success of our alumni, those of you responsible holistically for employability. I'm looking to connect up with you and have discussions on what we can do together to start having discussions to help our students. And of course, because we're all on LinkedIn, we don't need to be exchanging email addresses. We can use the inbox on LinkedIn to start some of those conversations going. We got, oh, I love this. Simon, so good to have you watching from Washington, D.C. I'm not too sure what time of the day it is there, but thank you, Simon, for watching from Washington, D.C. Got a couple of people watching in from South Africa. We've got people watching in from Johannesburg. We got more of an audience from Nairobi. And of course, I'm super keen to find out what questions you have around these jobs as I continue looking at the 10 top jobs that are available, and of course, the skills you require in order to get access to those jobs. Thank you very much for joining us from around the globe as we continue our countdown of the 10 top jobs, and of course, how you can get those skills to get access to those jobs. We were at number 5, and at number 5, with over 4.2 million jobs. 4.2 million jobs is the role of a customer service specialist. Like we said, our world has become digitally transformed. And of course, our customers are working hybrid and remotely. And our customers, we don't always have the opportunity to service them by visiting them in person. The role of a customer service specialist has become even more important in terms of how we build relationships, how we build rapport, how we go in to resolve the challenges our customers are having with our products, with our solutions, or with our organization. So if you're looking to become a customer service specialist, and here's the beauty with the customer service specialist role, you can work in any industry. That's why we have over 4.2 million jobs on the platform. If you're looking to become a customer service specialist, we're going to be offering at the end of this session a link in terms of some of the courses that you can take on that will help you access those opportunities. Folks, we're getting close to the number 1 job on LinkedIn that is most in demand. And of course, getting close to sharing how you can gain access to those skills. But we're right now at number 4. And at number 4, kind of similar to the trajectory we've been on, The need for us to have administrators of the technologies that we have in our workplaces has become super apparent in the world of work. So much so that recruiters and hiring managers have posted and have made over 3.9 million jobs available in this space. So, what are we offering? We're offering you an opportunity to gain access to core skills, to gain access to skills that will help you become certified. And what's more, we're providing discounts on helping you get your Microsoft certification so that you stand out more and that you get access to some of these 3.9 million jobs that are available globally on LinkedIn. So if you are interested in the world of IT, guess what? IT administrators fall in as a top 4 jobs in on LinkedIn on the platform in terms of job openings, and we're providing you access to skills and how you can gain access to them and get access to those jobs. So we're right down to the third most important job, or at least the third highest in demand job on LinkedIn. And what is that role? It is a role that allows you to operate in multiple industries. It is a role and an opportunity to serve as a project manager. As the world has transformed, as customers and organizations and institutions have been forced to transform, they need individuals who can help manage people, processes, technology, changes, and innovation in that world. Are you that person? If not, do you want to be that person? Do you want to learn how to the project management fundamentals? Do you want to learn the ethics that are required in order to operate in this space? Do you want to learn and apply how to manage schedules and limited resources in the execution, development, and innovation and implementation of key projects for multiple industries? The beauty with this role, like I said, is that it's not only shoehorned to technology spaces. You could work as a project manager in construction, in the retail business, in public sector. You could work literally in every industry because we are all looking for people who understand how to manage resources, budgets, people, technology, processes, and teams. People who know how to communicate and people who know how to use tools like Microsoft Project in order to deliver on projects on time, on budget, and on schedule. Folks, we have talked about 8 of the top jobs that are currently available on LinkedIn. We've highlighted how many jobs are available. We've also spoken about what skills these companies are looking for. And as I've promised right at the beginning of this session, one of the key reasons why I asked you to join this is that I'm going to be making available for you in this session access to gaining those skills for free for the next 23 days. That means right up until the 30th of September, you're going to gain access to those critical skills for free on this platform. And as I said earlier at the beginning of this session, each one teach one. You know a job seeker, you know a student, you know a graduate, you know a transitioning professional who needs help to move to the next career level. And of course, you know yourself where you want to be in your career. So each one teach one. At the end of this session, I encourage you to share some of these resources on LinkedIn, on other platforms you're on. Share these resources with those that you know so they can gain access to LinkedIn learning, do the courses, add those certificates onto their profiles, and then gain access to economic opportunities. The seeds of kindness that we plant today will show themselves as they bear fruit in the future as we help other people become successful. So, as much as you have taken time to join in today, it's not only about yourself, it's about sharing with your community. It's about sharing with job seekers. It's about sharing with our students, graduates, alumni, and those who need access to these skills. Just want to make sure that we're still connected before we look at the last top jobs that are available on LinkedIn, the last 2 jobs most popular on LinkedIn, and of course, sharing with you how you can get access to those resources. Just want to make sure that we're all still connected, and just want to make sure that I'm responsive to those of you who are posting questions. Lovely. We got representation from Dublin, Ireland. Thank you very much for watching. We got access and people watching us from Durban, South Africa. It's funny, most times when I tell people I'm operating from Dublin, Ireland, some people think I'm in Durban. But today we have live representation from Francine, who's watching from Durban in South Africa. Looking forward to coming to South Africa soon to see how we can help students gain access to this and more other skills. So, got a question coming in here in terms of, is LinkedIn skills assessment visible to recruiters? Yes, 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 yes. When you do a skills assessment, you're making the job of a recruiter easier. Because when a recruiter searches for talent, like we said, they're going to search for hard, soft skills, degrees. They're going to search to find out who are the people out there who can meet the requirements of a role. As they begin shortlisting, they're going to be able to see the people who have gone one step further to do skills assessments, to show that they have the skills in that particular area of work or in that particular profession or skill set that they're looking for. So your skills assessments will be available to the recruiters, and that way may encourage them to ultimately shortlist you a lot quicker than other people. All right, so let's have a look at some of the concepts, some of the questions that we're getting here. Oh, Farai, how are you and how is South Africa? It says here you would make a great radio and TV personality. Also, thank you for that, for the kind words. I love what I do. I'm super passionate about helping other people get access to economic opportunities. So if it does come across as if I'm on TV or I'm presenting something, it's just the passion that is leaking from me. And I thoroughly appreciate the words that you're saying, which are kind. Of course, we got representation from other universities, from the University of Johannesburg. Hi, Winnie. Good to see you on this platform. And of course, we got representation from Nairobi, Kenya, with people making powerful comments like preach. Hi, Mugo. Good to have you on the show. Let's see. I want to also make sure that I'm being responsive and answering any questions that you've got in the chat. These I'm posting live, so I haven't read these before. They're coming in from you. If you have a question, enter into the chat, ask your question, and I'll definitely answer it as we go through the session. Let's see here what Farah is saying. Is someone from a consulting house, I can fully agree with the analysis. Project management and business analysts are gold in the world of work today. Fantastic. That's a real life comment from someone who's functionally in that role today and is having access to economic opportunities. So we're not just picking these jobs out of nowhere. It is based on data, insights, research to highlight the top jobs. And like I said, we have covered the top 8 jobs. We got 2 more jobs to go, but I just want to make sure I'm answering the questions that you have as we get ready to wrap it up. So amazing content. Love this. And of course, Sheila, thank you very much for the kind words that you're sharing. And everybody else who's on the platform, I will jump back to these comments as we continue to go with this. But I now want to transition into the last top 2 jobs. Any guesses what jobs those are? Let me know in the chat if you think you know them. What are the top 2 jobs in demand on LinkedIn that you can learn skills from? If you know, chuck them in. But let's have a look here. There's a question coming in from Anne who says, what career level are these skills aimed at? Suitable for mid, entry, or advanced levels? Well, I have this to say to you, Anne. The recruiters, the hiring managers that are looking at these skills are looking at hiring people who show that they have the credibility and have the skills required to execute in these roles. So even if you're still beginning your journey in these particular roles, they will be looking at your profile. Even if you're midstream and you're transitioning from another career, they will be looking at your profile. If you get the certifications, if you do the assessments, and if you add these onto your profile, you will get access to these economic opportunities. So whether you are just at the beginning of your career, whether you're mid-level and you're transitioning, or completely moving from a different career, these are the top 10 jobs. We are highlighting how you can get access to these skills so that you can get access to these jobs. So definitely, I encourage each and every one of you in the next 23 days to invest on gaining these skills, because that's what will help you stand out and move on into your next level of your career. Like I said, folks, we have covered the top 7 roles. We've talked about how digital transformation has influenced that. We've talked about, of course, jobs that transcend industries, jobs that transcend business functionality. Now, let's look at the top 2 jobs that are most in demand on LinkedIn and the skills required. This one should not have come as a surprise to any one of you. The world we're in, from a commercial and from a company's perspective, companies are looking to work and get closer to organizations, to individuals, to customers that can buy and adopt their products, their services, and their solutions. In order to do that, they need professional business development skills. Those professional business development skills in the world of work today are known as sales representatives. And guess what? On LinkedIn, since 2020, there's been over 17.8 million jobs aligned to sales representatives, making this the second most in-demand job on the platform. And what's more, not only is it the second most in-demand job on the platform, we are giving you, for the next 23 days, access to LinkedIn Learning courses that will help you gain access to these jobs, that will help you prepare for interviewing, that will help you applying for these roles, that will help you for searching for sales representative jobs. So, in terms of sales representative jobs, how do you prepare yourself for this career? What are some of the great questions to ask if you're a sales representative? How do you handle customer objectives? How do you tell a good story that drives value for your customers as well as grows the revenue for your organization? So if you are aspiring for a role in sales, we are providing you with sales skills that can help you gain access to over 17.8 million jobs that have been posted on the platform since. Bit of a drum roll here, folks. Bit of a drum roll here. We're now down to the number 1 job. The number 1 job that is most in demand on LinkedIn. Have we had any guesses come through in terms of the number 1 job that is coming in? I see a couple of people had, of course, sales, and a couple of people are calling themselves out for calling out the sales role as being the number 2 job. But do we have any guesses? Or, before we even get to that, do we have any questions? I have a question coming in here, which is, the question is, it's super important to add certificates onto your profile because it is your digital currency. Absolutely agree with you. Jeff Bezos of Amazon says this often, and I love this quote. Your brand is what people say about you when you're not in the room. So when these jobs, when recruiters are searching, shortlisting, hiring managers are searching for talent, and they find your profile on LinkedIn, and they see the skills and the investments you have made in your education, and they see your lifelong learning journey, what does it say about you? And more importantly, if you haven't added any skills, certification, or any education since you left university, since you left college, since you left high school, what does it say about you? What does it say about your digital currency? Folks, your LinkedIn profile is absolutely the most important real estate you are going to own on the internet. When people search to meet up with you as an entrepreneur or meet up with you as a candidate applying for a role, they're going to look at your profile. With that being said, before I look ultimately at the number 1 job, let's take a quick commercial break and see why our LinkedIn profiles are so important in terms of continuously building them. Well, folks, we've come down to the number one job on LinkedIn with the most demand. And of course, like I promised you right earlier on, I'm sharing with you unique after the slide how you can get access to that particular job and the skills that are related with it. So, the number one job on LinkedIn with the most demand coming in with over 22.7 million job openings is the role of a software developer. The number one job with a skill that you can learn online, that you can learn with LinkedIn Learning, is the role of a software developer. As organizations need to continuously evolve and transform themselves, they're using software to lead in terms of that transformation. Developers are highly in demand. Understanding how to develop on multiple platforms, be it Python, be it Java, be it SQL, be it HTML, learning how to develop end to end on the web, learning how to leverage databases, learning how to grasp the fundamentals of development is super important. And to acquire these skills, LinkedIn Learning is making available, as I promised on this platform. I'm going to share with you a link on how you can gain access to these skills. And how will I do that? Well, I'm encouraging each and every person that's out there today. If you want to know how to gain access to these skills, I'm encouraging you now to get your phones ready, switch on the camera side of things, because I am going to share a QR code that will take you directly to where you can find these jobs. If you're using your phone to watch this live stream, like I said, do not fear. This live stream will be reposted and made available to you, and you can always find it on my profile. What have we covered today? We have covered the top 10 jobs that are in demand. We have covered, based on this data, what are the skills required for you to gain access to those top 10 jobs. And right now, I want to share with you a QR code on where you can find these jobs. And of course, I'm going to be sharing in our chat a link in terms of where you can get access to these jobs and also these skills so that you can apply for these roles. So if your phones are ready, probably the number one slide most important for you today in terms of where you can get the skills for these top 10 jobs. Here's a QR code that will take you through to a website we have curated in combination with Microsoft, GitHub, and of course, LinkedIn Learning, so that you can gain access to the critical skills. You can begin your journey of certification so that you can gain access to those opportunities. So, like I said, here's a QR code. If your phone is if it's internet connected, your data is active, you can take a photograph of this QR code, and it'll take you directly through to where you can find these jobs, as these are skills that will help you gain access to these opportunities. That is all I had to share with you today in terms of some of the opportunities we're providing in helping you gain access to new economic opportunities. Folks, I hope you found this informative. We are at the end of our session. We've literally got down to 4 more minutes before we close out this. I want to recognize people that have been watching and people that have been participating and say thank you very much, of course, for those of you who are taking guesses around some of the jobs that would be top on LinkedIn Learning. Some of you were absolutely correct. So, bingo, Jerry, software engineers it is, and sometimes known as software developers. So, thank you for all of you that were taking guesses in terms of some of the roles that were some of sorry, my mistake. Those were taking guesses on what would be the number one job in demand on LinkedIn, and of course, how you can gain access to them. I hope you found this session informative. Like I said, we're down to the last 3 minutes. We have covered the top 10 jobs, counting down those jobs, and of course, we have fielded some of your questions. And of course, like I said to you, those skills that we are sharing are only available for free between now and the 30th of September. What happens post 30th of September? You must be asking yourself. Post 30th of September, if you're an individual, you have an opportunity to subscribe to LinkedIn Learning. If you're working through an organization, you have an opportunity to get your learning and development manager speaking to LinkedIn about getting access to the entire LinkedIn learning platform for not only yourself, but for other members of staff. If you're working for a government or a government agency, you also have the opportunity to get your learning and development leaders to talk to LinkedIn. And if you need help in terms of understanding who to talk to within LinkedIn, let me know. I'll be more than happy to help you connect to a LinkedIn professional that can give you at least a scalable solution for your government or for your government agency. If you're in my sweet spot, as in you're in a school, a college, or university, get your learning and development, your teaching and learning, get your career services, get your alumni relations, get those who are responsible for positive student outcomes to reach out to me and understand how we can make available for your school, for your college, for your university, LinkedIn learning courses for students, for staff, and of course, for faculty members. So there are various institutions, various companies, or various ways you as an individual can gain access to LinkedIn. Of course, best practice is to come in from a volume perspective and ensuring that not only yourself are being enabled, but others within your institution are being enabled and are gaining access to these skills that we are making available. As always, I encourage you to make intentional time for learning. It's not easy if you're job seeking. It's not easy when you're working. It's not easy when you're leading a business to continuously invest in yourself, but intentionally make time for learning. And if you know there's people out there in your community, right here on LinkedIn, that could use this to help them transition and become more successful. The only way you and I can become more successful is when we help other people become successful. I encourage you to teach others on this platform, LinkedIn, and other platforms on this unique opportunity that's available to us for the next 23 days to gain access to those skills. Lastly, I say to you, always be learning. Every single day, you and I have an opportunity to be both a student in life and to be also a teacher. Always be learning and always be willing to share with others what they can learn off platforms such as LinkedIn. Thank you very much for attending. I know we've had all sorts of people joining us on this session. Thank you so much for your participation interactively. Thank you for some of the questions that you've asked. As I said, this live stream will be available for replay so that you can have access to that QR code. I am, as I finish off this live stream, going to be sharing the URL, the website where you can find these jobs and opportunities. So stay tuned. You are going to find where you can find access to these courses available for free for the next 23 days. The recording for this session will continue to be available. You can look me up, Stuart Samkange, on LinkedIn. You can look me up and find this on my profile. Alternatively, I am also going to make sure that it's available outside of LinkedIn and share it, of course, on my LinkedIn, on my YouTube channel as well. In terms of other questions that have come in and other comments is, of course, how do you access the Learning Center? Like I said, the QR code is one way to get access to LinkedIn Learning, which is where we're providing this learning. And of course, I'll make available the URL as we finish this session. To each and every one of you that joined us, including people like Royston, thank you very much for watching this stream. I am now going to release you back into your world and encourage you for the next 23 days. Make time for learning, always be learning, add those certificates, get that competitive advantage, start searching and applying for those roles. And of course, Godspeed as you transition into the new jobs and opportunities available to you in this world of work. Thank you so much for watching this. I'll now close out the session and, of course, answer your questions that come post the session on LinkedIn. Have a good day, folks. Wishing you all the best. Cheers now.